Hello everybody, welcome to That's Football. I'm Mark Goldbridge and this is your Premier League predictions for the weekend ahead. Also, is it season over for Arsenal? We've got lots to get into. Get your comments in below. I've also got Robbie's predictions as well, so I can tell you what's happening with win, lose or draw and our predictions. No Robbie today. He's a bit tied up for Valentine's Day. I don't know what goes on in his relationship, but actually, I don't mean tied up like actually tied up, although, you know, maybe that, whatever rocks your boat. I just mean like, you know, he's got Valentine's Day stuff going on. I'm not saying he's been tied up, but he can't be tied up too tight because I have got his predictions. But anyway, digging myself out of that hole, let's get into it. Look, Arsenal, season over. I wanted to ask Robbie about this, and I can't. Maybe we can touch on it on Monday. But I do feel like Arsenal are a team now that is like a car that you know is going to run out of gas at some point, and it's about how far they can get along before they run out of gas. And I think that's a fantastic analogy because their season is not over. The draw with Liverpool and Everton makes that gap 7 points. They've still got to play Liverpool. Liverpool have still got to go to Villa and Man City in the next week. I've got Wolves at the weekend, of course. So if Arsenal kept winning, then they could close that gap down. And if that gap came down to 3-4 points, you'd say the title race is certainly on in February and March. But I still look at it and go, there is not a team in this league that is good enough to close Liverpool down between now and the end of May, in the sense that I think Arsenal will run out of gas and I think they will drop points. In fact, I'm just going to say it. I think they're going to drop points against Leicester tomorrow. I think the absence of Martinelli and Havertz and Saka, I think it's starting to stack up. And whilst Arsenal should be good enough to grind out a win against Leicester, I don't think they will, but it wouldn't surprise me if they did. That's just a prediction. My main point is I think that Arsenal at some point are going to run out of gas. And I think that's their season now. I'd be very interested to know what Arsenal fans think about it, whether you think your season's over or whether you genuinely think... You've got to keep believing, haven't you? But I do think it's going to be very, very difficult. And obviously it goes back to what many of us have said about strikers, etc. But yeah, I just think it's inevitable, isn't it? If a spider is walking along and it keeps losing legs, at some point it's going to stop walking. And I just think with Arsenal, they're a good team. They are a good team, and they are the second best team, and they are the ones that are going to put the most pressure on Arsenal. But at some point, you can't keep losing what they're losing and keep moving forward. And I think it's just when, not if, Arsenal run out of legs. Anyway, oh God! Also, did you see this as well? Before we get into predictions, did you see Gareth Southgate has got a book coming out about leadership for Christmas? I think later this year. So he's writing a book about leadership. I mean, absolutely incredible. I mean, he never should have got a knighthood anyway, but what has he ever, he never bloody won anything. A book on leadership. I'd rather read a book about Spurs, how to win trophies. It's incredible. I mean, Gareth Southgate on leadership. What next? John Terry on IQ test. I mean, just incredible. Mastermind, sorry. Anyway, get that in the comments as well. Books that would be better than Gareth Southgate on leadership, but would still be ridiculous. Let me give the scores on win, lose or draw. So before the last Premier League weekend, because it was FA Cup, wasn't it? So we had a Premier League weekend where we haven't caught up. Me and Robbie were on 16 each. Remember, there is a forfeit at the end of the season and we get a point for every result we get right. So 16 all was before the last Premier League weekend. That was the weekend where Arsenal played City. We both said an Arsenal win. We were right on that. He actually did say Southampton would beat Ipswich, so that was another place that Robbie scored points. But the one that really changed it was me in Chelsea West Ham. He actually said that it would be a draw, and I said a Chelsea win. 19-20 was the score at the end of that weekend last time. So I've got a 20-19 lead over Robbie going into win, lose or draw this week with the Premier League. And we've got a bonus game of Aston Villa against Liverpool as well. So I have a point lead, 19-20, which gives me a bit of a wild card, which will be in the Arsenal game, where I'm going to go and say that I think it will be I'm going to go with a draw. I'm going to go with a draw between Leicester and Arsenal. Now, Robbie has sent me over his stuff. He's obviously not too busy. Maybe he's having a bit of a break. he has gone with an Arsenal win, no doubt about that. So there we go. He's gone with an Arsenal win. So look, maybe he gets back level with that. 19-20 to me at the moment. Not forgetting, Friday night, Brighton against Chelsea. If you don't have Valentine's plans, maybe you are going to watch that game. Robbie has gone with a Brighton win. I'm going to go with a Chelsea win, actually. I'm going to go Chelsea, and he went with the Brighton win there. Next up, we've got Villa against Ipswich. Robbie's gone with a Villa win. Yeah, I'm going to go with a Villa win on that one as well. I'm not copying. I just don't think Ipswich. I mean, losing to Southampton, that was incredible, really, wasn't it? Fulham against Forest. He's gone with a draw. I'm going to go with a Fulham home win, which might be a bit out there, really. I mean, I'm always writing Forest off. I am. Man City against Newcastle. Robbie has gone with a Newcastle win, which I think is very interesting. I'm going to go with a draw in that one. Southampton against Bournemouth. I was going to say, Robbie, are you going to stick with your Southampton wins? He hasn't. He's gone with a Bournemouth win, which I had as well. Yeah, don't fancy them in that. Southampton. West Ham against Brentford. He's gone with a West Ham win. I'm going to go with a draw in that. He's gone West Ham win. There we go. Palace against Everton. He's gone Palace win. I'm going to go with a... I don't want to go too many draws. I will go Palace win on that one. I think Palace at home against Everton, they should win that. Liverpool against Wolves. I'm going Liverpool win on that one. He's gone with a Liverpool win on that one. They're at home against them as well. Spurs against United. What's he gone? He's gone Spurs. He's gone with a Spurs win. I'm going to go draw on that. And then Villa-Liverpool he hasn't done, so I'll have to double check what he goes with that one. But I'm going to go with a draw in that one between Villa and Liverpool, which is on Wednesday night, which we're going to include as well. So, yeah, I'll go with that. Yeah, I mean, looking at the Premier League weekend itself, I think the big ones, I do think Leicester are going to get something against Arsenal, which is going to be my shock pick of the week. I think Man City Newcastle at 3 o'clock on a Saturday is incredible. I mean, that game, to me, is the game of the weekend. And I think it could be really interesting because Man City are so vulnerable at the moment and Newcastle are buzzing, aren't they? So, especially in the race for top. I mean, that should be R5 on Saturday. Man City Newcastle should be R5 on Saturday because that literally is the race for top four. Like if Man City win that, they sort of push Newcastle away. Whereas if Newcastle win it, it pushes Man City down. So I think that's a massive game. I've got to be honest, Tottenham, Man United, you'd be picking that as a TV game and going, that's a big game, but that shouldn't be the half-4 game on a Sunday now. It's an embarrassing fixture, actually. We're both absolutely terrible, and I don't really get what you get out of that game. I mean, it's important for Amorim and it's important for Ange, and obviously as a Man United fan, I want to win it, but even if you win, like we don't even get out the bottom half. It's more about where could this... And it's unlikely, but could this be like a Europa League final where it's a massive game to get in the Champions League? Because on league form, it's just catastrophic for both teams at the moment. But I expect Liverpool to beat Wolves, which means Arsenal do need to beat Leicester. Let's wait and see. Watch-alongs this weekend. I am doing Arsenal-Leicester at 12:30 because I think that's going to be a shock. And then I'm going to do Man City against Newcastle at 3 o'clock. And then obviously Man United against Spurs will be on the United stand on Sunday. Play along with win, lose or draw. Get your comments in and we'll speak to you on the next one. And do you agree with me that Arsenal's season is going to be over at some point? It's just a matter of how long they can last. And it could be this weekend, of course. Also, get your book titles in. If Gareth Southgate's doing a book on leadership, what other funny people could do books on things they're not very good at? Speak to you in a bit. Take care.